What's up, family? Aha, aha. I know you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z, because I'm a fan of Dragon Ball Z. And this is what I wanted to do. There are three major sagas in Dragon Ball Z in total, but there are one or two little arcs in the sagas. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to rate every single arc in each saga. We're going to start out with the Saiyan saga. So look, let me preface this by saying this is going off of my favorite and my opinion on how good the arc is, how it seemingly goes into the next arc, all of that. Okay? Alright. So let's get it started. Also, and before we get started, let me change the theme of the background real quick. At number 8, I have the Great Saiyaman arc. Yeah, it's 8. It is typically going to be higher, but the thing is, the reason why I have the Great Saiyaman arc at 8 is because it really doesn't meld into the Blue Saga. It makes sense, but if it was just because it was a slice of life and Gohan doing his thing and everything, I would appreciate that. I'll be like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I love the Great Saiyaman arc, but if I'm being honest, it just is was it needed? Not really. I mean, it explains why he has the Saiyaman armor when he's in the tournament, and but yeah, no. That's why I got the Great Saiyaman arc at 8. Number 7, I have the Ginyu Force arc. So my thing is, it was kind of a disconnect from the flow of the saga. To me, it's okay, it seemed like a lot of filler in between the beginning of the arc when they were worried about the Frieza soldiers and Vegeta doing his thing, and then we have to wait a few hours, they have to wait a few days on the planet to get the Ginyu Force to come to the planet and then do their thing. It's yes, it's iconic, but it's just, to me, it slows down the story a lot. But I really do I like it. It goes, but at the same time, it's at 6, I have the Raditz saga. Now, you're probably wondering, what does this go into the Saiyan saga? You can tell there was a fundamental switch in what happens in the Saiyan saga between the Vegeta and Raditz and them, whatever. But look, the reason why I have this at number 6 is not because it's bad. None of them are bad, but because it introduces us to Raditz. And back in the 80s, the early 90s, finding out Goku was an alien and the reason why he had a tail and everything, that was crazy. The execution of that was crazy, but I feel like it just went slow, but also quick. The pacing of it was really nice, and I like the arc. Don't get me to it. Don't get it twisted. I love the arc. It's just, I wanted to see more Raditz, but he did his job in setting up the story of Dragon Ball Z, set up the story of Vegeta, set up the story of the Namek saga and everything. But so yeah, I got the Raditz saga at 6. At 5, I have the Frieza arc. So look, I love it. This is great, and the only reason why it's not high is because I just love higher because I just love the other ones more. But here goes my thing, right? They were doing a bit too much with the nail thing, how long it was to torture Nail. Nail, he served his purpose, but I kind of like that Frieza did show slight respect for Nail. He didn't initially just take him out like he could have, but he did his thing. I like that we've seen a character that was so intimidating, so strong, so just, he knows that he's better than you, he knows that he's stronger than you, and he's still just gonna play with his food. That's he humiliated Vegeta. And at this point, all we've seen Vegeta do is just be cocky. Even in Lost, we've seen him be cocky. We've seen him be Vegeta, you know? And this is old Vegeta when he was still evil. This is not, you know, his pride was shattered. He started crying. He was, dude. And then when Frieza took him out, I was like genuinely like, damn, they did my dog. And then here goes the thing, right? The parallel between the Frieza and Cell thing, where the Sun family took out the main character, and then the Brinks family gets taken out by the main villain. Think about it. It happened with Vegeta with Frieza, and then it happened with Cell and Trunks. But yeah, I love this arc. I give this one honestly like Red and Wise like an 8, but I like these other arcs more, so let's get into it. At number 4, anime exclusive Otherworld Tournament. Oh yeah. So listen, the reason why I like the Otherworld Tournament is because, well, it's an anime exclusive, but it actually is canon to the series. It actually introduces different concepts and different aspects of the Dragon Ball series that gets later expanded on in Dragon Ball Super. Like, the Otherworld Tournament is literally just a precursor to the Tournament of Power. Same stuff. And then with the multiverse stuff, no, it's not a multiverse, but it's from the different galaxies that is in the main universe. You have a team fighting to see which galaxy is superior in fighting, and the prize is training. There's one overarching guide that's above the other ones. So it's like, come on, this is literally just the precursor to Dragon Ball Super. And then plus the fights, dope. The fights are actually dope. Pikkon, love Pikkon, use him in different video games, all that. But yeah, that's number 4. At number 3, we have the Android Saga, man. We have the Android Saga, and this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tie in the Trunks specials with the Android Saga. So yeah, man, the Android Saga, bro. I love it. It gives Vegeta something to do. It gives him his shine. It gives Piccolo his shine. It gives not Tien, yeah, that comes later. But it gives a lot of the characters shine before, you know, they get put on the back burner for a while. The androids were done so well, like actually. Like they add the personalities, their banter back and forth, everything they did was actually done extremely well. 16, one of my favorite, and I love the parallel between 16 and Gohan, and then Android 8 and Goku. That is literally not a coincidence. You cannot convince me otherwise. Yeah, this arc is amazing. How they did Dr. Gero. And then later on, when you find out his backstory through other places, through other means, 16 is just a life model decoy of his son. You're like, come on, bro. The Android Saga was done so good. We see Vegeta unlock Super Saiyan. Goku wasn't listening. Also, the introduction of Trunks, the best written character in Dragon Ball history. Yes. Don't at me. He's better than Vegeta. He's better than Gohan. He's better than Goku. The best written character. Like, come on, bro. Yeah. And then the way that they do it, like, the way they show the hierarchy of strength is that when you first get to this arc, you see that the previous big baddie of the arc, get taken out almost immediately by Trunks. And not only did he take out him, he took out his dad and he took out his army without even trying. He didn't have to go Super Saiyan to beat him, but he did. Yeah, that's the way you do it, bro. At number 2, we have the Cell Saga, the Cell arc. It doesn't even matter, bro. This probably is the best written arc in Dragon Ball history. Like, yes, this is probably the best written arc in Dragon Ball history. Cell, his backstory, and then how it ties into Trunks. Trunks, his backstory, how it ties into Cell, how the androids get taken over. Cell, when he first got introduced, how he was actually 3D, and then his personality changed over the course of the arc. Cell with his aura that were literally spirits. People forget about that part. And yes, that was in the show, but I'm not sure if it was in the manga. I have to go back. I read the manga. It's been a while. And then like the fight between 17, because that's when I consider, like with 17, when they find Goku, that's when I consider the start of the Cell Saga. The fight between 17 and Piccolo, and then Cell shows up, and then with Tien gets his time, oh my goodness, bro. And then Goku, you're like, yeah, I'm sure gonna use it either. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. This arc is amazing. This arc is amazing. Just the emotional aspect of Goku becoming a better father. Like, he wasn't a bad dad, but he was around his kid even more. Just, we knew that something was going to happen to Goku. Gohan was going to take over. Gohan coming to terms with it, the fighting. And there's a whole debate about, no, Goku forces. Gohan willingly did it. And you cannot blame Goku for him wanting to spend time with his dad. No, we're not going to do that. But yeah, so we know what's coming next. We know it's going to be number 1. And it's going to get a lot of anger. The number 1 best arc in Dragon Ball Z is... The Boo Saga. Yeah. Dragon Ball Z. Boo Saga. Now, you're probably wondering, why are you playing the Boo Saga? It's not even that good of an arc because it's just fighting and this and that. And yeah, you're not a good Dragon Ball fan. You look at you. You're shut the fuck up. Just spit all over my phone. Look, so I don't know if y'all remember this network called Vortex or whatever, but when I was a kid, they used to show Dragon Ball Z on Vortex. When they finally used to end up showing the end of the Boo Saga, because sometimes they used to show 2 episodes back to back, boom, 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 boom. Or they would, next week, you wait till next week, right? Boom. Bro, tell me why I waited and waited and waited to watch the Boo Saga. Like, I already know about the Boo Saga because, of course, I played the Dragon Ball Z games. But, you know, it was just something about that first time watching it. Bro, it started the whole series right back over from the very beginning. You know how mad I was? Like, come on, bro. And then, I know it's not the actual show, but Team 4 Star never did it. And when I was a kid, at least, they never did it. They were still on, So it's like I never actually managed to watch the Boo saga like my entire life. We couldn't afford the box sets, and then when we did have the box sets, it only went to the Cell saga. So I'm like, whatever. I'm never gonna be able to access this until one day in 2014, I looked up the Boo saga on YouTube. The whole entire Boo saga was on YouTube. I watched the whole Boo saga for the first time on YouTube, back to back. I didn't stop. I stopped. Bro, when I tell you the euphoria that hit my brain watching that for the first time was insane. No, it's not as well written as the Cell saga, but it's far from just fighting. It's far from that. Like I said, you see these characters go through their individual problems, but it all goes in together. Gohan with his confidence, Vegeta with his life feeling like it's going to waste, Goku literally debating on if he should even be on the planet because every time he's around, something happens. This is like actual things that they have to worry about because it's like, think about it, it's all true. The introduction of Goten and Kid Trunks actually gave it like a youth kind of feel. It seemed like original Dragon Ball. It was playful, it was fun. Boo as a villain. I love Boo as a villain. Fat Boo, playful and fun, but you see that he's actually dangerous. Super Boo, going up to Buhan, which is actually my favorite version of Boo. He was actually menacing, he was actually scary. He wanted to achieve his goal that bad. Kid Boo, the pure embodiment of chaos. Not stronger than Super Boo, but the pure embodiment of chaos. I know this is an anime exclusive, but when he went to the afterlife to keep on getting smoke with people, that man is a smoke demon. He's not a normal person. We should be worried about him. Yeah, bro. This arc is just have everything that you want and everything that you need as a Dragon Ball fan. And at this point, Dragon Ball Z looked the best. It was a beautiful animated show, and you could tell that it was about to go. And then the ending of the story, yes, it was frustrating that Goku just left, but yeah, man, it was great. I love it. Hey, let me know what y'all think. If you disagree or do agree, discuss it. Can we get this video to 10 likes? That's all I want. Like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for being here. I'm on this journey. I want to get monetized. I want to do this. It's not about monetization. I just want to actually feel like I am one of the YouTubers. I've been trying to do this my entire life since 2006. So yeah, yeah, love y'all, man.